Monday evening in Tucson carried a different kind of quiet. The reported 5 p.m. deadline connected to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie passed without public updates, without confirmation, without the kind of closure people anxiously wait for. Silence in moments like this feels louder than any announcement. It stretches, it presses in. And as the hours ticked by, attention shifted, not just to the investigation, but to the family at the center of it. Viewers watched old clips again. They replayed public appeals. They searched for meaning in tone and posture. In that quiet space, something else unfolded far from Arizona. Not dramatic, not televised, but deeply personal. At 86, Tom Brokaw reportedly gathered with a handful of longtime friends in New York. No cameras, no statements, just conversation. What he shared, according to those present, was not about the crime itself. It was about the human story beneath it. A conversation, not a broadcast. Those who described the afternoon say it felt more like reflection than revelation. 8 people in a living room, coffee on a table, chairs drawn close. Brokaw, the former anchor of NBC Nightly News, spoke carefully. The same deliberate cadence viewers knew for decades. But this was not a news report. It was personal. He talked about knowing Savannah Guthrie since her early days at 30 Rock. He remembered her as ambitious, polished, respectful. Yet he said there was something else he noticed early on. A particular discipline, almost an internal compass that never seemed to waver. He wasn't criticizing it. He was observing it. He described it as the kind of steadiness that doesn't just come from professional training, but from something deeper. From upbringing. From lessons absorbed long before studio lights ever turned on. The influence of a strong parent. Brokaw reportedly spoke about Nancy Guthrie not as a public figure, but as a force within her family. Raising children after profound loss requires resilience, and resilience often becomes a household value. According to those present, he described Nancy as strong, determined, unwilling to let hardship define her children. That kind of parenting can build extraordinary adults. It can also create powerful expectations about discipline, about composure, about never letting the world see you unravel. Brokaw suggested that Savannah's calm presence on camera this week may not simply be professional polish. It may be the natural extension of lessons learned decades ago. In families shaped by endurance, emotional control can become second nature. Not because love is absent, but because love is expressed through strength, through capability, through forward motion. Watching the public statements. As he reflected, Brokaw reportedly walked through the sequence of Savannah's public messages. The structure, the pacing, the clarity, first gratitude, then description, then appeal. It mirrored the rhythm of a broadcast segment, organized, thoughtful, measured. He emphasized that this wasn't manipulation. It was instinct shaped by years of training, layered on top of a lifetime of expectation. When Savannah looked into the camera and spoke about her mother, she did not appear frantic. She appeared composed. Some see that as extraordinary courage. Brokaw reportedly suggested it may also be something else, habit, a deeply ingrained belief that maintaining control is not optional. That composure is the foundation of credibility. And in a moment when everything else feels uncertain, control may be the only steady ground available. Strength and its cost. One theme that reportedly surfaced again and again was the difference between strength and suppression. Brokaw is said to have noted that in his long career, he witnessed families react to crisis in every imaginable way, grief spilling out in raw, unfiltered waves. Savannah's reaction, by contrast, has been restrained. That restraint is not weakness. It is not indifference, but it may carry a cost. Holding oneself together under immense pressure demands energy. It requires constant monitoring of tone and posture. Over time, that vigilance can be exhausting. Brokaw did not frame this as criticism. He framed it as concern. The same discipline that keeps someone steady can also make it difficult to release emotion when release is needed. And no one, no matter how accomplished, is immune to emotional fatigue. A daughter before a broadcaster. Behind the headlines is a simple truth. Savannah is a daughter. Before she is a co-anchor of today, before she is a public voice, she is someone waiting for news about her mother. Brokaw reportedly emphasized that viewers should remember this distinction. Television can flatten people into roles. We see the anchor, not the child. But crisis rearranges priorities quickly. In private, there are likely moments without scripts or cameras, moments of fear, of hope, of whispered prayers. Public composure does not erase private emotion. It only hides it from view. Recognizing that humanity changes how we interpret what we see. Instead of analyzing her tone for hidden meaning, perhaps we can acknowledge the emotional balancing act she is performing in real time. The burden of expectation. Another point Brokaw reportedly made was about expectation, not public expectation, but internal expectation. High achievers often carry invisible standards shaped long before their careers began. They measure themselves not only against professional benchmarks, but against deeply personal ones. In moments of crisis, those standards can grow louder. Did I say the right thing? Did I act quickly enough? Am I honoring my family's strength? These questions are not unique to public figures. They are universal. But when lived under a spotlight, they can feel amplified. Brokaw's reflections suggested that Savannah may be navigating two battles at once: the urgent reality of her mother's disappearance and the quieter internal drive to remain unshakable. Compassion over commentary. The living room conversation reportedly ended not with dramatic predictions, but with a plea for perspective. Brokaw encouraged those present to resist turning the family's ordeal into spectacle. Investigations require patience. Families require space. Public figures are not immune to pain simply because they are accustomed to attention. He reportedly urged empathy over analysis, reminding everyone that strength can coexist with vulnerability. The absence of visible tears does not mean the absence of grief. The calm delivery of a statement does not indicate the absence of fear. Sometimes composure is simply the only way a person knows how to move forward. Hope in uncertainty. As night settled over Tucson, uncertainty remained. Searches continue. Leads are followed. Families wait. In New York, an aging journalist's reflections quietly reframed the narrative, not shifting blame, not speculating about outcomes, but inviting deeper understanding. Savannah Guthrie's public steadiness may be the product of decades of training, faith, and family influence. It may also be the shield she uses to survive this moment. None of us can know what happens when the cameras turn off. What we can offer is patience, hope, compassion for a daughter navigating fear under extraordinary scrutiny. Remembering the human story. When stories dominate headlines, it is easy to focus on timelines and deadlines. But behind every update is a family bound by history and love. If Nancy returns home safely, healing will take time. If the path ahead is harder, it will still require tenderness. Brokaw's reported message was simple. Do not reduce this to spectacle. See the human story. See the daughter trying to honor her upbringing while holding on to hope. See the woman balancing professionalism with personal anguish. And perhaps in that recognition, extend something quieter and more powerful than commentary: understanding.